Hi fellow traders, I'm making this video to show you a new trade setup as well as to update you on Kiwi dollar. So here we are on the same chart which I had shown you in the last analysis of NZD USD. So you can clearly see that the market didn't close above 161.8% extension of this. This video is not going to be understood by you unless you watch last video of NZD USD. So if you look at this leg down, in last video I had shown you the butterfly, and 161.8% was a benchmark for deciding whether or not this is going to retrace from here or it's going to continue to the upside. Despite spike created on Friday because of UK election, closing wasn't done above 161.8% level, and the Thursday session was an inside session, and the entire movement was very small and was inside this candle, the candle which was caused because of FOMC. So the sell trade setup is still technically valid on Kiwi dollar, but only concern is the release time of ANZ business confidence, which is coming very close. Now is 6:16 p.m. and that news is that data is going to be released very soon, around 7 p.m. tomorrow as per the New York Times. So you have around 24 or 25 hours to close the NZD USD trade. And the target has also changed because of this new high, because initially I was targeting initially I had made a video on the basis of this high, the high of December 11, but now we have a new high, so the target will change accordingly. We'll place Fibonacci retracement right now from this point. No, sorry, not to this point. I'll have to change the recent swing from this point. So the immediate target, which was 30%, will change to 65.41, which is very near, and I think we should not target more than this if we have only 24 or 25 hours remaining. Alright, so that's all about this trade, but now I'm going to show you another trade setup on the pound Kiwi, GBP and NZD. And the reason behind showing you this is my analysis of pound already. So you can look at my previous analysis. You see this previous analysis here. Okay, so you can if you're watching this on my site or my blog or my YouTube channel, then you can search for the previous video, or if you're watching here on TV, then you can go for this previous analysis to understand my GBP USD. So I'm bullish on GBP, at the same time I'm bearish on Kiwi. So the buying of GBP and NZD can be a good idea. So let's go to GBP and NZD and let's compare this SL and TP, as well as let's see where can be our entry point. FX colon GBP and NZD, enter. On the daily time frame, this is a chart of pound Kiwi, and you can clearly see that the market here is in uptrend, and we have to look for the signals, the entry and exit signals. Just like the last time I had shown in the previous video that there was no gap on the cable. Similarly, there is no gap here, but there is gap on Friday opening in most of the brokers. So that is not the point. The point here I am trying to make is that that we are bullish on pound, irrespective of there is gap or anything. And I don't believe in the classical formula or classical ideology that the gap has to be filled. I don't believe in that. So anyway, if there is gap or there is no gap, just forget it. It's all about the representation of price of a broker. So here this broker isn't showing any gap. What I'm showing you here, you can buy right now. The price is right now is 202.49, so you can buy right now. You can place your SL below this level. Already this movement of the Friday, like this candle, there were too many news on Friday, too many temporary moves to the upside, to the downside. It was a chaotic situation on Friday when many news came from the US about the US-China trade deal, and later also news came from China that China reaffirms and confirms that the trade deal has happened successfully with the US. So what happened at the end? Market followed the bullish direction. So that can be taken into account as the final signal as of now, and I'm not going to target anything above previous high. So you can target around the closing price of the previous high, not the spike high. I'm just going to target this closing price, that is around 2.03889. So our take profit will give you how many pips? Let's measure this from this point. I will change this to arrow, shift, click, and our buy price, if you buy right now, will not be here. It will be 2-3 pips above this point because of the spread. So let's measure from this point. All right, so we'll have 102.9 pips on the table on the gain side, and how many pips there on the risk side. Let's compare. So if we buy here, and if we place SL here, it will be 124. So obviously it's not advised to place SL here, and obviously I mean there is no sense of waiting too long for keeping this position. As I already have said, that the GBP can further retrace to the downside to go to 61.8%. I'm talking about GBP USD now. Maybe it can go to 61.8% or even 78.6% before starting continuation to the upside. Therefore, if this is not going to continue upward movement right from here, then there is no sense of holding on to this position. Not only because of the situation of retracement in pound versus dollar, but also because of the situation of this New Zealand dollar itself. The ANZ business confidence is going to be released within approximately 25 hours, which will make a significant impact on this trade. So if you are entering, then take this as your take the opening price of today as your stop loss. If wait for the daily wait for the closure of the candle, do not immediately close. So wait for the closure of the candle. I mean the daily closing, because daily closing will already take place before the release of business confidence from Australia New Zealand Bank. So it's completely risk free. The impact from the impact of the data release. So you can wait until the daily closure, but if the daily closure happens below this point, then definitely you should close in the loss. So even if let's say daily closure will happen here, then it may be like let me first turn on this magnet mode. Let's say a little few pips below this, then it will be 83.85 pips. Otherwise, if daily closure will happen a little farther till here, if it will go till here, then it will be something around 102. So this will be equal risk to reward. Our reward was also around 100 pips. So it's up to you. You can take this trade and make some profit on this pound kiwi. This seems a risky trade. I'll not recommend this trade, but this is viable. This is a feasible trade.